What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology forecast for the weekend of October 30th and the 31st of 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Happy Halloween this weekend. Yeah, here we go. Plague Doctor, check out this beak. I wore this last year for a horoscope during Halloween as well, and I'm not dressing up this year, so pulled this out of the closet. Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. Hope everybody's doing well. Sending you all my best. Thanks for being here with me. What a weekend we have. We got Mars coming into Scorpio. We got Sun square Saturn, a moon in Virgo. Very, very interesting Halloween lineup. Definitely the big deal is, of course, this Scorpio energy with the Sun and Mars coming together. Definitely a vibe check. I mean, we haven't had Mars in Scorpio in 2 years. We did last year have Mars in Aries, and that's a completely different Mars vibe. Much more masculine fire energy, and it retrograded there, so it really got our identity kind of scraped clean as we've progressed through those personal signs. And now we come into Scorpio, which is, of course, feminine water, so it's extremely deep. There's a depth with Mars in Scorpio that you can kind of act intuitively in whatever aspect you're trying to penetrate into and get to the bottom of things. I think this is going to bring up a lot of truth in life. There's no more bullshitting. It's kind of going to cut bullshit out of the picture. But today we are seeing, on this Saturday, Sun and Saturn in square. So we have a very strong Mars now, a very strong Saturn, and a Sun square Saturn. I mean, you look at the malefics, like +8 for Mars, +9 for Saturn. A lot of energy. Definitely it's action here, but we have to be acting accordingly. We see the Sun at 7 degrees is a very spiritual, deep dive day, and a lot of it comes through decisions. I think we can start to see where these decisions that we've already made are playing out and where they're going. I think that this is like trying to hold you to the highest spiritual frequency. So it's kind of a check on your life. If you're seeing a lot of blocks come up, it's probably because whatever you're doing in life, honestly, has to be spiritually reevaluated with your soul and kind of go through this transformative process. So we're kind of at a fork in the road here where it's like, all right, have I been living to my highest frequency, my highest form of self? And this is going to be different for everybody, but it's also asking us to be responsible for where we ultimately from deep within feel like we need to go, or what we feel like we need to do, and who we need to connect with. So relationships get brought up big, who we're kind of merging with. The Scorpio does bring in the other in life, but it's got to have this passion and this edge too. So we're being presented with outside forces in life beyond our power or control, kind of showing us, showing up in our life to show us if we're making the right decisions for this highest version of ourself that's going into a future that's trying to connect with the reality that we live right now. So definitely not the easiest of energy, depending. I think that this does depend on the individual and choices you've made up into this point. So if you're seeing blocks show up, or you're starting to see some of this deeper layers kind of start to get peeled back like an onion in your life, it's happening for a reason, and you kind of have to be willing to go through whatever that metamorphosis is in your life so that you can kind of upgrade. So I think that this is an upgrading square, although it might feel a little harsh, and especially around reality-based stuff. We're going to see that moon come into Virgo for this weekend. So there's this kind of practical side to things. I mean, honestly, for a Halloween energy, this doesn't look like the most fun energy, but it can be. But it's almost like, are you making big decisions for your future? Are you getting your reality in order for that highest form of yourself? Are you willing to kind of switch things up, clean things up in your life? And I think that could be a part of this energy on Saturday, is well, did you clean up this mess that you had, or are you still going to play in that arena, or are you going to move it around and get things in order in your life and in your personal life? So that's important. Mars is also going to sextile as it comes into Scorpio with that moon. So, I mean, I would say that intuitively, we really know where to put our energy and what needs to be shifted or cleaned up in life or organized, and what doesn't. So it's about putting your energy into the things that are taking you higher spiritually, just as a person. This is character building, Saturn, Sun square, Mars in Scorpio. This is the deepest form of your character trying to emerge. And we don't want to suppress that, or really we can't be playing any bullshit games with ourselves and others, to be completely honest. And I think that this is like showing that. We also see Mercury quincunx Neptune. So we can be a little lost. I think trusting your intuition is your best friend in this time, especially in Scorpio season with a Mars in Scorpio. Like if you can act intuitively and kind of just scan and know which direction to go into without maybe having it all justified or weighed out, it might go a little smoother, to be completely honest with you. And the moon's going to square the nodes. So kind of got that faded feel to it today, like decisions, choices. Are you going towards your truth, your highest frequency? What really makes sense with the information that's shown up in your life, and kind of focusing that into the projects and the real stuff that you want to see moving forward, that you want to attract in. Scorpio definitely can be very magnetic. So I think that there's this magnetic attraction to our highest form right now. Very important to pay attention to that. We're also seeing Mercury start to trine over to Jupiter this weekend, and it will by tomorrow. So third and final hit of that, I think that we can definitely sort of, if we've made good moves internally, we can start to see where this like benefits coming, and we can start to see sort of what the future's got in store for us. So I think that there's a lot that we've learned, and I think this is where you really take what you've learned and make justified, powerful moves for what this future is going to look like. I don't want to say not letting outside sources derail you, but this is where you have to really check yourself and make sure that you're not bullshitting yourself when aspects show up outside of you. We have to kind of take responsibility for that. So I think this is character building in a sense that whatever's showing up is trying to help you internally to crack some code and to get to the bottom of something that's very important for where you're trying to go. So you don't want to like deflect energy or blame energy today. This is definitely where you kind of take the information that's shown up and make smart moves in your physical world for that. And that's going to start to clean up so many things, but you don't want to get kind of just lost in glossing things over, not paying attention to the fine detail. I think today's definitely like what was the deeper meaning? What was the fine detail? And are you ready to put your full attention into that to move in a direction that is hopefully going to expand many, many things within your mind, within your physical world, your connections, friendships, who you're getting merged with in this reality. And Venus at 24 degrees, we're going to start to see Mercury by the end of the weekend really start to sextile that Venus. And it's coming off, of course, the sextile with Jupiter. So, Venus is definitely trying to see the bigger picture here, and to kind of free ourselves from anything that is not a connection, anything that is not a vibrational match. It kind of seems like it's going to show up this weekend, and you have to be able to accept that it's not a vibrational match any longer. As we come to Sunday, we're going to see the moon sextile the sun. Sun's going to pull off the square to Saturn. So we're kind of breaking free. There is a little bit of better energy, I would say, for this Halloween on Sunday, where it's like maybe it could be right if you're kind of in alignment, but I think that this Sun-Saturn square is really a big alignment check, and it is going to be at 8 degrees, so it does still have this very serious nature with a square to Saturn and a sextile to the moon in Virgo. It's not glossing over things that's going to give you the benefit of your reality. It's definitely making big moves for what you know deep within is going to bring out the most in your life. And, maybe that involves having a good time and enjoying Halloween. We're going to see the moon trine over to Uranus. That's definitely going to bring some excitement. That could be the most exciting sort of aspect that we get on Halloween, is like, oh, whoa, where'd this information come from? Or this is what makes me feel good. Or definitely like that was some really bomb candy. Like people are giving out some Snickers full size this year. Hallelujah. If you're even going to go get candy or trick or treat. We do see Venus meet with Juno. Exactly. So it's very positive for relationships and who we are connecting with, merging with, and what sort of that can open up in our world. Definitely positive for the people if you're in alignment with the right energies. I think that that is a lot of what this weekend is asking for, is proper alignment as we move forward into November, which is intense, and 2022 is intense. So it's important that we're in alignment with ourselves and making sure that that matches with someone else or other people in our lives, so that we have a good bond as we kind of see where this journey unfolds to. And we're going to see Mercury with that trine over to Jupiter. So I think that there's definitely can be a lot of positivity if we've done the work in bringing balance and justice into our life, and what that means to us and how we understand that and how we are able to express it is definitely important too. As we do see by Monday and Tuesday, we're going to see Mercury square Pluto for the third and final time. And that's definitely another kind of pop the top aspect within our mind, but it's like the final hit, and we've done a lot of the deep experiment, and on Tuesday Mercury will be out of shadow, so that's a big deal as well. That was definitely an intense Mercury retrograde. So yeah, very interesting day. We are on Halloween, like during the evening, gonna see late at night, we're gonna see moon opposite Neptune. Definitely trying to bring the magic into our physical world and trusting our intuition to do that, but can definitely have us, looking over things. We definitely want to be, there's a seriousness to this weekend. You want to pay attention and be serious to whatever's opening up your world in the way that you desire, and not, running from your desires or from deeper aspects or deeper truths that are presenting themselves, but kind of taking them head on and, being mutable in the fact that what it is that you truly want can be molded and shifted and shaped into what you, into bringing it into your, your life. And I think this weekend is definitely positive for that. But at the same time, it's a serious one. And this is the helio chart for Halloween. Interesting, we do see Venus and Neptune in this chart. They're going to meet up this week. And yeah, it's interesting too, having Venus square Neptune to start the week, and Venus and Neptune together. Definitely some magical relationships are out there. And I think even the Juno conjunction is, expressing that same thing. We do get Mars square Pluto on Sunday. So not only do we get Mars coming into Scorpio and this really penetrating aspect of our identity and our ego and where we can merge with energy, but it's squaring with Pluto, and it's in Libra in this. So yeah, it's just a transformative time that's kind of forcing us to define a path based on what's going to be most just in our lives, and defining it on the relationships and for the long term. And we do see that the Earth is getting close to Uranus, as it will conjunct Uranus with a new moon in Scorpio from Geo. So we're definitely approaching some, I would say these are erratic energies, but they're also trying to accelerate us farther. These choices that we make this weekend are going to help with that. As we even see the Earth, when it starts off this week, made a nice sextile to Jupiter. So I think there's definitely benefit out there for people doing the deeper work, connecting to their spirituality and their frequency at a very high level, as we also see that the Earth is going to square Saturn for that new moon in Scorpio as well. And we saw Venus quincunxed Mercury. And yeah. So interesting stuff in the helio chart. Nothing, crazy except for that Mars square Pluto. I think that's the big one that happens on Halloween. So it could be a spooky Halloween, for sure. But what that means in everybody's life could be a little bit differently, or this is just getting you really ready within the sort of foundation of yourself on the deepest of levels, ready to move into the highest character of yourself. And I think that could be very positive for people too. Gonna use the zombie the zombie deck for this Halloween weekend. Three of Swords in reverse. This is definitely a weekend where we can get out of some unfortunate feelings or some heartbreak situations. Like, obviously, we're ready to move forward. We're ready to go to a higher place. And this goes through our own deep psychological understanding of what we want, how we feel about it, and I guess realizing that we don't have to settle for less than what we truly want. And we don't have to settle for living in situations or dealing with things that don't bring us happiness. So we're getting out of situations that are no longer happy or fun. We also got the Nine of Cups in reverse, but it's kind of uncomfortable a little bit, and we're not all snuggled up. This is definitely kind of coming out of the covers, if you will, to make what you really want to feel connected to emotionally show up in your life. But it's like, I guess, forcing the action to do that and forcing the decisions to go a route that's going to bring better into your life. And the overall is the Eight of Wands in reverse. So, I mean, I would say, like, we can't just run away from things right now. We just have to kind of take everything as it is and own up to it on the deepest of levels. And that's going to help us with our direction. But we could also see where a course direction is needed, and we want to be open to that and not judge it, not judge ourselves, but embrace where that depth is trying to take you. It's a big weekend. So hey, happy Halloween to you all. I will see you for the weekly, all that good stuff, and on Monday for Monday's horoscope. Much love, everybody. Peace.